What is going on today, guys? April the 29th. Happy Friday. Not so happy Friday with the market as you guys have seen today, absolute massive move to the downside. Basically, the green that was produced on Wednesday and yesterday has been completely wiped clean, and on the week down pretty significantly in the Dow, S&P, and Nasdaq. Um, in terms of the reasoning, I'm not too sure. I know that Amazon had a earnings miss and they just absolutely plummeted. I believe it was like 15% or something like that. But um, that plays a big role, obviously, when you have the dominant companies having bad earnings and stuff like that. It affects the market as a whole. So that obviously was an influence. The obviously the big elephant in the room called inflation is still there. It's not going anywhere. Um, as you can see, commodity prices, real estate prices, living expenses, how inflated everything is. That and that's going to be around for quite some time. I'm not entirely sure, what's going to happen in the coming months in terms of how that's going to be combated, but everything is just hyperinflated right now, in my opinion. So you got the inflation. You still got the Russia conflict going on. I don't see much, even being talked about with that. There was something earlier today that I read up on about regarding gas exports, and it's just there's just a whole there's so much politics to it. It's honestly nauseating. But yeah, the Russia conflict, inflation, and I mean the market is in as volatile a state as it could possibly be in. So markets finished off Nasdaq down 4% on the day, S&P 3.5%, Dow 2.5%, and we come and look up at oil 1% both sides, crude and Brent both down 1%. I mean, significant moves to the downside. So, but natural gas, like I was explaining about that news article I read on Russia, and they're the major exporter of natural gas, and I'm going to be talking about that with KOLD in a moment. But yeah, natural gas absolutely rallied today, pretty solid, up 5%. So, um, yeah, there's just a lot going on, guys. There really is. And my whole recommendation is just to keep it as simple as possible. Trade a few names that you know well and have you have a good track record with, and just keep it simple. That's it. And make sure you guys follow my stock twits at the Deepster 7, and don't miss out on insane calls like these two. So this UVXY was posted on April 21st. We are in the 29th. That's an 8-day 58% winner in 8 days. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, right? I mean, I do mention quite a few plays, but for most part, I'm posting plays that I believe in, and due to my analysis and where I believe that they're heading. So I mean, DWAC, what a freaking move! I mean, DWAC went to like $58 or $57. I'm going to be talking about that one today as well, and where I see it heading. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to highlight these two posts because my analysis is I'm just trying to give you guys the best feedback I can give, based on what I see in the market and what's happening. So obviously there's something being done right here. So just make sure you follow the stock twits, and I do this all for you guys, and I want to see you guys thrive, and we make money together. Let's do it. As always, we're going to talk about UVXY to start off the day, and wowzers. Wowzers, oh wowzers, oh wowzers. It's just really unfortunate because obviously, like I just showed you, this was alerted at 11:50, and that's when I got the bullish confirmation because of the red candles forming, and then the stairs. It's like a staircase. You see that? How it went just straight up, and then obviously had one candle red here, one candle red here. Like basically, that was just like consolidation, and then bam, gone. Right? I don't want to drag too long into it, but yeah, guys, 1150 all the way to 18 because obviously this is a bearish ETF and it's going to thrive on market weakness. market downtrending, which it did today pretty significantly. So yeah, market's pretty much down on the week big time. So I mean, look at this, guys. I was mentioning this. I said 14, 15, $16, and then the sky's the limit from there. And I was saying that when UVXY was 12, $11. I mean, I'm not I don't want to misguide you guys, or feed you BS, or like get you into plays that aren't moving and crap. But like this is like I mean, this is insane. And obviously, like I could have been wrong, but every market, like all the factors pointed in the direction of a downtrend, and that's why I was so confident about this. So keep UVXY on watch, guys, because I mean, like I said, market continues to the downside. This could easily go to $20 to $25. So yeah, take note of that, guys. $20 to $25. Look at that volume in the close. Look at that. There's a lot of confidence here. There is a lot of confidence here. But just as easy as this can go to 20 to 25 bucks, right, in the coming weeks, it could easily go back down to 14, 13, $12 with market strength. So make sure you're picking your spots. You have the confirmations you need and whatever. So yeah, that's it for UVXY on today. So moving on to KOLD, the bearish ETF for natural gas got pretty hammered today because, like I told you guys, natural gas rallied because of some Russian news regarding exporting, and there's going to be it's a whole political thing. I mean, but it all has to do with supply concerns. Whenever that's a factor, you're gonna see a downtrend in like the bearish side, right? Because the bullish is gonna go way high because you have limited supply of something and the demand is high, the price is through the roof. But then obviously the vice versa, if you have too much supply and little demand, the price drops, and then that's what's gonna send something like KOLD to the moon. And still, my whole thing is about KOLD is this is the accumulation range. This is all accumulation time right here in this area. Anything from the $7 to $10 range, accumulate, 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 tuck it away, put it under your pillow for the tooth fairy in a couple months. I'm telling you guys, wrap it and put it under that Christmas tree, because I'm telling you, it's gonna pay massive dividends. It's just me looking at the technicals and just looking at Boyle, the bullish ETF for natural gas. I'm telling you guys, KOLD is going to rally. This was just a little false flag rally right here. There's still a lot of tension. There's still a lot of politics going on. There's a huge the huge charade in Russia, and everything going on is still present. So once the storm settles, I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be a big banger right here. So keep that on watch. Next, we're going to get into RIVN, and this is the one I've been talking about for the past few days. And earlier today, I forgot to mention the market did rally earlier today, like in the morning time-ish area, and then like just completely went to the red side. I wasn't paying too much attention. I'm just in my few plays that I'm holding right now, but I mean, obviously, like I saw that like plays like Rivian ran up to like 33. I mean, over 33, 33.75. I mean, that's a massive move to the upside. That's a $3 winner right there if you're able to get that. But there's just way too much market weakness. So as soon as this hit that level, along with many other big plays, right? Like I'm sure like Apple and Microsoft downtraded. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure about those guys, but with the market in shambles as it is, everything went down to the downside. Well, for most part. Uh, but still, Rivian, this is another one of those EV plays that I really love. I like this range. Anything in the $30 to $35 range, it's time to accumulate and just hold. If it breaks beneath that, and I mean, it's more than possible. I mean, I could be wrong here. I think it's still one of those continue to accumulate plays, but obviously it's all about sticking to your plan and what works for you and having your stop losses and whatever. But for me, it's like I don't know. It just looks too good. It just looks so good to me. I mean, obviously EV is becoming the new phase in the world, and Rivian is a legitimate EV competitor in the space, and they could really make headway, with a lot of sales happening and whatnot. So I mean, keep an eye on Rivian, guys, because I think within the next 2 to 3 months, this can be a massive gainer here. Moving on to DWAC, as I mentioned, obviously on my post, up 50% from that alert. Absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane. So the high, I believe, was pre-market or aftermarket. It went to like 57 or 58 bucks, right? It went up to this area. It doesn't show pre-market here. It just shows the day movements and whatnot. But I mean, what an absolute monster this is. Now, I did buy basically the bottom. It's pretty freaking insane. I bought at 33.60. What was it on Tuesday? What was the 25th? Was that Tuesday? 4 days ago, Monday? Whatever day it is, whatever. I bought here and I sold it on this spike to the upside at 38. So quick $4.50 winner. I was in and out, whatever, and I didn't. I was just watching it. I didn't really feel like getting back into a position or rushing anything. But then just look, guys, like out of nowhere, massive volume. I mean, massive volume. And I was telling you this, guys. These Trump sensitive stocks are massive. When they get the traction going, they really freaking go. And that's 50%. That's 50% in 4 days. I mean, if you stuck to your guns and just held your position at a 33, 34, $35 average, even a little higher than that, I mean, look at that gain. Is it something I predicted? Sort of, because I literally said DWAC was going to go to 50. Did I expect it to happen this week? It could. I said it could happen, but I was talking more so in like the next few weeks, or once like pressure's building up. But with Twitter thing, and then DWAC, the Trump's Truth media, all that bullish momentum, just everyone's pouring their money into this, and look where it is now at $52, right? I mean, it's crazy. So that's why I really loved this buy, but I was day trading the stock, so I ended up getting out at 38. Was it something I should have held? Probably, but I stuck to what my plan was for it on the day, so that is what it is. And honestly, guys, I really hope you're banking hard on this alert, because this is literally something, like I said, I alerted. I mean, it's here in stone right here. This is not. This is obviously it's not a photoshopped or anything. It's legitimate stuff. So. Anyways, DWAC, keep it on watch. This can go to $60, $70 in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Moving on to another name I've been talking about in recent videos, FUBO. Guys, I honestly, I don't know what to say, because I was talking about this being a buy in the $6, $7, $8 range. What was it? No, $6, $6 to $7. No, what was it? Low sixes range. And then obviously, I wanted to see a bounce to the $7 range and regain traction. But so much selling pressure, guys. So much selling pressure and shorting of this stock. It's been absolutely desecrated to the downside. Um, I try to be as transparent as possible. Like I'm not at 100% with a lot of my calls, but like with FUBO, I had a lot of confidence in it because of how much it had already downtrended. But I was also saying, guys, that plays like this and SOFI, I'm about to talk about right now too, when they're in all-time low territories, there's nothing stopping it from hitting more all-time lows. There really isn't. Like, look at FUBO here heading into the close. Look at that selling pressure. I mean, you know, at a certain point, the shorts have to cover, and obviously this stock will gain traction again. I mean, it's a legitimate streaming platform, and I don't see them going anywhere. Maybe a buyout is in the on the table. That's something that I wouldn't live by. But I do believe that a buyout is possible. So keep that in mind. But I still believe this is a buy. I don't know. I mean, it's been absolutely brutalized uh, due to market conditions, and then just shorts and selling, and just all the tension that is in the streaming world right now is like Roku and Netflix getting hammered to the downside too. Roku actually had a nice rebound because of earnings, but FUBO is just it's been struggling. We have earnings coming up on the 6th, so let's see what unfolds there. Because if we get a good earnings here, right? Revenue estimates are beat, earnings per share is a beat. I don't see why this doesn't go back to $6, $7, $8 range. I really don't. I really don't see why it wouldn't. So yeah, keep FUBO on watch, guys. And SoFi, just like I mentioned right now, in all-time low territory, just absolutely getting brutalized to the downside. In all-time lows here. What was this? Was this yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Look at this. Drops to an all-time low, almost to $6 flat, and then bounces straight back up to 675, and then just bleeds out again. So, I can't give you guys a legitimate support here because there isn't anything being established because it's downtrending so much. I still believe in SoFi though. Very solid financial company at the end of the day. Um, they are legit, and in terms of their earnings coming up on the 11th, it looks like um, analyst estimates are, there's gonna be a beat on it because they average a lot of growth quarter to quarter. So keep SoFi on watch, guys. Um, do I recommend this as a buy? I don't see why not. Honestly, get your feet wet, dip your feet in the water. Don't dive all into it now. Just slowly, gradually scale into positions and whatnot, and stick to your plan about it. And I do see this as being a lucrative position in the coming months, and obviously earnings coming up. Let's see what happens with it. So yeah, FUBO and SoFi, all-time low territories, earnings coming up. Let's see what happens with them. And now, last three plays, what they all have in common, like I've been talking about: integrated media technology, blue water vaccines, WKEY, WKEY. What I've been talking about, guys, is all three low float, short squeeze plays ready to head to the stars and beyond at any time. Anytime any bids are in, this thing rockets. Like on the 26th, 3 days ago, right? It's integrated media technology, IMTE, floating in the $4 range, a little bit beneath that, right? And then all of a sudden, bam! 2 days later, catches bids, heads up to $5. I mean, that's a dollar, so I mean, that's like 25% right there. Bam! You're out. In terms of the potential that it has, the potential is unlimited because you have low floaters and you get massive bids come in. I've been saying this, guys. We're not in the business of trading to hit home runs. The goal is to hit hits, right? Is to get a hit here, get a hit there, get on base, get your profit, get out, right? But a lot of these low floaters, I mean, when they move, they really freaking move. That's why I've been talking about it. Like, IMTE has easily can head to $8, $9, $10 on any news, on anything. And I mean, that's a massive move. That is a out of the park move for sure. But that's if there's obviously a positive PR and all that, and earnings in the company. Um, it's just hard to predict something like that. But realistically, I do see this heading to the $6, $7, $8 range within a reasonable time, couple weeks, a month. Any type of PR, anything positive will send it. So keep MT on watch. I do not have a holding in this right now, but just keep it on watch. Now the last two plays I'm going to be talking about, like I just mentioned, low floaters, blue water vaccines, Waseki. Yeah, today very interesting again. It gets pumped up, like it came down to the 350 range. It's been floating here the past day or so, 2 days. It's been floating here, and then bam, it went up to like 415, and it happened quick. It was like immediate, and then it just went right back to the downside. So there was a lot of buying pressure here, and then just sold off immediately. Um, But I mean, guys, zoom out on the chart. Like I'm telling you, with blue water vaccines, this is one of those that I really do believe is going to spike hard. Take a look. Make sure to take a look at a play that bounced really hard today. Vax, VAXX. That play absolutely bounced hard to the upside. And I see a lot of similarities between that and blue water vaccines in the sense that they had their runs to the upside and they got bled out to these all-time lows way down here in the $3 to $2 range, and then then bam, it spikes to the upside. And like I've told you guys, my average here is in the low fives. I've been buying more, accumulating as it goes down, and overall, I'm staying confident in it, and I'm not really in the business of selling for a loss, and because I genuinely do believe in this play. I don't really care that obviously I care that I'm down, right? But the trader that I am today is a lot more patient and understands that these things take time. I mean, obviously I could be wrong on the play, and what if BWV plummets to under $1 or something? I mean, that's like drastic circumstances. Like there's some bad news or something like that happens, but realistically, what I see happening here is a PR, some type of update from that. I mean, they did update on that conference, but I think something more in detail on what they're doing as a company internally, whatever's being produced and whatever's being researched, or whatever they're doing, or a partnership, anything, right? I That will be the catalyst to send this back to this range right up here, the 6+ range. So keep blue water vaccines on watch. I'm not giving out false hope, right? But I'm just being realistic on what could happen. Could it continue to downtrend? Of course. Will that put me in more deep red? Yes. But, it's all about being patient, guys. When you get into high risk plays, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of grit. It requires a lot of cojones. So, cojones. Yeah. Anyways, Wiseki is going to be the last play talked about. Another one of the low floaters. Um, it's just been bleeding out a bit and then consolidating and in these all-time low territories, and it's just been, for me, looking at it, it's just massive manipulation going on. I don't, the thing is, like, these low floaters typically get short sale restricted, which means that there's no short shares available to retail investors to purchase, right? So when you basically short a stock, you're buying negative shares with the promise that you're going to buy it back, right? So for anyone that doesn't know how shorting works, right? If the Waseki is at 175, I decide to short it. So I decide to short 2,000 shares. So I have minus 2,000 shares, and I'm betting that the stock is basically going to go down. That's what I'm getting at. Waseki goes, let's just say 150, right? That's a 25-cent win on each share. Now, in order for me to close out that position, I just purchased 2,000 shares, and then bam, it's done. That's it. So that's basically what shorting is. And there's no There's no short shares available for these companies typically when they're in downtrends like this. They're short sale restricted. So that's obviously an indicator that something is looming. And for me, Waseki is gonna bounce the 250 range. That's still my conservative price target. Is that where, like, my mind is in terms of how much, like how much what is it, traction it can get to? Like, when traction is uh built up with buying volume, is do I think 250 is the only place that it can go? Hell no. I think that this can break through 3, head to $4 or $5 range. It just depends on the PRs, depends on the news. Like I told you guys, they just had that 51% sale of a stake they had in a technology company, and they made a ton of money on that. So they have a substantial amount of cash on hand, and I don't think that that's been reflected in the actual market cap, and it hasn't been realized yet. So I expect some news to be hitting here too in a short period of time. So that's why I'm very confident about this. My average here is in the 190s, and I'm holding patiently. And I have, there is no rush, guys. It's just like, sit back, let it do its thing, let the manipulation do its thing, and just stay calm and enjoy your days. That's the best advice that I could give to you guys. So yeah, Uvxy, KOLD, RIVN, DWAC, FUBO, SOFI, IMTE, BWV, and WKEY. Keep these all on watch, guys. What an absolutely up and down week it was. I really do hope that you guys finish green. I don't care if you finish green $1, $1,000, or 100,000. As long as you finish green or close to green, or you minimize your losses, or you feel like you've learned something, right? That's all that matters, guys. Remember that. And if you finish red, as long as you're learning from what you're doing wrong or what you can improve on, that's all that matters in terms of trading. Because this is to really master trading on its own. It takes years, right? Like 2 to 3 years isn't going to do it for the majority of people. There are the super traders out there that just have a knack for it, and they can just go crazy on it. But for the average person hopping into this world, it takes many years to get a hang of things, and get acclimated with exactly what works for you and what plans work for you and strategies that are you implement into your trading style. So um guys, if you're red and you're watching this, just be patient, keep learning, and do not stress and do not beat yourself up. Because I've done that countless times. I beat myself up about bad trades or this or that. But in reality, that's the worst thing you can do to yourself, because you have to be positive. You have to build yourself up. You have to build up your confidence. You have to make yourself feel good, because you feel good mentally, physically, everything. You'll trade better, and you'll be more patient. You'll focus on life, and you'll focus on being happy and all that. But you understand. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. I just, at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up over any losing trades. Just continue to learn, study as much as you can, and keep doing your thing, guys. Keep implementing your unique style and whatnot. So um, if you guys have any questions, any plays you want me to look at in particular, any feedback on any of the plays I talked about today, go ahead and comment down below. Message me on Stock Twits. Just comment on a post. I'll get back to you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe this video. Follow my Stock Twits of the Deepster 7. And I really hope my feedback is helping you guys out. I do this for you guys, and um, it brings me a lot of gratification to be privileged enough to do this. And guys, I appreciate all the views and whatnot. So I really am happy about that, and the fact that the channel is slowly growing. So enjoy the weekend, get your mind off things, and cheers, guys. Enjoy a nice beer, and just spend time with family, and unwind. I'll get back to you guys on Monday. Make sure to follow Stock Twits for live updates and plays. Peace out, guys.